Episode 4: King Philip's War and the Curse. Welcome back to Mysterious Places and Haunted History of New England. Today, we journey into the shadowed heart of Massachusetts, to a place where the echoes of a brutal, forgotten war still whisper on the wind. This is not just a story of ghosts. It is a tale of conflict, dispossession, and a curse said to have been born from the blood-soaked soil itself. Our investigation takes us deep into the history of King Philip's War, a conflict that forever scarred the landscape and perhaps the very spiritual fabric of this region. Our story begins in the 17th century, a time of rising tension between the burgeoning English colonies and the indigenous peoples who had called this land home for millennia. At the center of this maelstrom was Metacomet, known to the English as King Philip, the sachem of the Wampanoag tribe. He watched as his people's lands were encroached upon. Their way of life was threatened, and their sovereignty eroded by the relentless expansion of colonial settlers. The fragile peace that had existed since the Mayflower's arrival, it was fracturing under the weight of mistrust and injustice. In 1675, the simmering conflict erupted into open warfare, a brutal and devastating struggle that would engulf all of New England. During this time, the Wampanoag utilized the treacherous terrain of Massachusetts as a strategic stronghold. One area in particular, a formidable swamp and its surrounding high ground, served as a key fortress for Metacomet and his warriors. It was from this natural redoubt that they launched raids, resisted colonial advances, and fought to preserve their ancestral lands. For the colonists, this place became a symbol of fear and native resistance, a dark, impenetrable wilderness where their early colonial military superiority was often negated. The war was catastrophic for both sides, but it was utterly ruinous for the Wampanoag and their allies. By its end in 1678, Metacomet was dead, his forces were shattered, and his people were either killed, sold into slavery, or driven from their lands. The victory for the early Massachusetts colonists was absolute, but according to local legend, the victory of the colonial and Wampanoag conflict came at a terrible price. A powerful theory, one that provides a chilling context for centuries of paranormal claims. It is tied to the aftermath of this very conflict. It is said that in the throes of defeat, a powerful curse was laid upon the land, a final act of spiritual defiance against those who had taken everything. This enduring legend is linked explicitly to a sacred Wampanoag artifact, the wampum belt. More than mere currency or decoration, these wampum belts were living historical documents, recording treaties, genealogies, and the tribe's most profound spiritual truths. The wampum belt belonging to Metacomet was a symbol of his leadership and his people's sovereignty. According to the lore, this sacred belt was lost or stolen during the final, chaotic days of the war. The curse, as the story goes, was a direct consequence of this desecration. The land itself, defiled by war and the theft of this sacred object, the area would never know peace. The land itself would forever be a place of darkness, confusion, and despair for those who now occupied it. This historical trauma forms the bedrock upon which generations of dark phenomena have been built. The area, once an indigenous Wampanoag stronghold, gained a modern reputation for inexplicable events, strange lights, and a pervasive sense of dread that seems to cling to the very air. Is it merely a spooky forest, or is it a place still haunted by the unquiet spirits of a devastating war? Is the land itself crying out, still bound by the grief and rage of a lost people and a stolen legacy? The historical narrative of a sacred wampum belt and a potent curse offers a powerful academic lens through which to view these modern claims, suggesting that the hauntings of New England, they are not just random specters, but are deeply interwoven with the violent, unresolved conflicts of its past. The idea that history can leave a permanent scar on a location, an emotional and spiritual residue, is a theme in which the creator of this series and the author delves deeply into her own work. her Gothic literary novel, a tenacious grasp on reality. It is based on her own personal experiences while living on an old farm deep in New England. If these stories of New England's haunted past intrigue you, I invite you to explore the book, available on Amazon and Audible. You can also find more content on her 2 YouTube channels. Both are dedicated to the novel and the real-life experiences that inspired it. The past is never truly gone, and sometimes it holds on with a tenacious grasp.